Expectations are high for Kalen DeBoer and Steve Sarkisian, lower for Billy Napier and Jeff Lebby. Are they reasonable expectations? Locked On SEC starts right now.
You are Locked On SEC, your daily podcast on the Southeastern Conference. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's up, everybody? Welcome into Locked On SEC. Chris Gordy here with you. Thanks for making Locked On SEC your first listen every day. Shout out to Everydayers. We're free and available wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, covering your team every day. Recapping day 3 of SEC Media Days today. We'll bring you some more great interviews, but today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Make every moment more as we get into these summer months, getting closer to college football season. FanDuel is hooking up all customers with a boost or a bonus daily. That is right. There's something for everyone every day, all summer long. Visit FanDuel.com to get started. All right, as we dive into it, recapping day 3, some of the highlights here from SEC Media Days in Dallas. Kalen DeBoer knows what it is going to take to win at Alabama, but we got to see him do it. And he spoke Wednesday regarding the high expectations in Tuscaloosa. As DeBoer said, I get everything that comes with this program and the expectations, and that's why you come here, to be a part of this. There's a lot of people that love to be in our shoes. My shoes, you know, our players as well. You embrace it. You pour everything that matters as far as getting better each and every day, and you live with the results. That's the way I've lived every moment of my coaching career. DeBoer also said, look, he's open still to taking advice from the GOAT in Nick Saban. He said anytime you're with Coach Saban, you're just trying to grasp onto everything he has to share with you. It might not be something specific. It might just be the way he carries himself, the way he just kind of views things, but a lot to take away with Coach Saban rubbing off on Kalen DeBoer. Meanwhile, over in Austin, the Longhorns have high expectations coming off of a memorable season where they made the college football playoff. Steve Sarkisian at the podium saying, this is the deepest team we have had, probably the most talented team we have had in my 4 years here. He said, I can unequivocally say that. Now, of course, Sark's tenure started slow. He started off 5-7 back in 2021, and Sark addressed that. He said, I'll tell you this much, 5-7 in Austin, Texas sucks. That was hard. It was hard for me. It was hard on a lot of people. Then 8-5, it was a little bit more palatable. But obviously, he said, as we transition into the Southeastern Conference, he said, I think the key word is respect. We have a ton of respect for this conference. We have a ton of respect for the teams, the coaches, the players, and the fans in it. He said, I think on the flip side of that, we have to go earn that respect. We're not going to get anything in this deal. Nothing's going to be free. We're going to have to go earn the respect of our opponents, our opposing coaches, and opposing fans. Meanwhile, on the flip side, 2 coaches with not high expectations. Billy Napier, a lot of people, saying on the hot seat, obviously. 3 consecutive losing seasons for the first time since the 1940s. But Billy Napier said Wednesday they are showing progress. He told the media at the podium, he said, change doesn't happen overnight. I think ultimately timing is everything. When we took this job, what we inherited, the work that needed to be done, I think we're on schedule to some degree. Should we have won a couple more games down the stretch? Well, would have liked to, absolutely, but this is where they are. Napier also asked about the tough schedule at Florida. He said, look, the great thing about our schedule, we don't have to take this on as individuals. We get to do it as a team. I believe the thing I've learned and observed in this league, you have to have the ability to self-discipline and prepare the same way each week. So we're going to do that. We're going to focus on the work that's ahead. We'll look up at the end of the season and see what that earns. So we will see. One more note on Florida. Billy Napier also addressed Cormani McClain, the 5-star Colorado transfer. There's been some reports about him, and Billy Napier addressed it. He said, I think a lot of that gets blown out of proportion. He's a young player. We're well aware of his history. He's a local kid. The guy's had a great week so far. He's gained 10 pounds, and I think he's learning expectations. He's learning the culture. There have been some reports that McClain had consistently been either late or absent from multiple team events, including lifts, meetings, and other affairs in Gainesville. Lastly, Mississippi State coach Jeff Lebby at the podium, and he talked about what it's going to take to turn the Bulldogs around. Obviously, lower expectations for him this year. He said the biggest piece for us is going to be to get off the ground the right way. We need to go get a quarterback that can get it done. That obviously is Blake Shapen. He said intangibles is what you have from Blake. You watch him play. He's got toughness, attitude, a guy who can create and get you out of a bad play. That, to me, inside our league is more important than probably anything when things aren't perfect up front. So There you have it. Those were some of the takeaways from the 4 coaches at the podium on Wednesday here at SEC Media Days. One other note, SEC Nation is going to feature a rivalry atmosphere for week 1 of the college football season. They announced this week they will head to Gainesville on August 31st when Florida hosts in-state rival Miami. So SEC Nation in there, been on the air a decade now on the SEC network, and they will go to the Florida-Miami game in week 1. By the way, the last time the Gators and the Canes played in the Swamp, they had to go back to September 2008, where Urban Meyer's Florida Gators beat Randy Shannon's Miami team 26-3 in that one. All right, we talked about it. It was Alabama getting things started earlier on Wednesday here from SEC Media Days. We were able to do a walk and talk with Alabama quarterback Jaylen Milroe. Here was our certainly escalator ride with Jaylen Milroe. A very interesting conversation. Here was that conversation. All right, you ready? Catching up with Jaylen Milroe. It's a walk and talk. You're the KD native. We're at your camp a couple weeks ago. What was that like giving back to the Houston community?
It was awesome. It was awesome to have that chance to do so. It's all about giving back and allowing kids to have fun. It's all about, when I was younger, that's all I wanted to do, was have a chance to give back with this beautiful game of football. And football is a beautiful vehicle because it allows you to network and also give you the opportunity to have opportunities of having camps like this. So I'm super fortunate and blessed to have that.
What's the biggest difference of Jaylen Milroe from last offseason to this offseason?
I'll say, number one, just having the belief behind me. And then 2, just the experience level. You know, our first year starter must be different from a guy that's had experience. So it's been awesome just to have that. And then also the transition of having great people around me with Coach DeBoer and Coach Sheridan. So I'll say, man, I'm just super excited for what the future holds.
What do you like most about this team? What excites you most when you talk about Alabama in 2024?
I say the passionate level of the guys that's around and who's leading our system. You know, Coach DeBoer doing a really good job putting us in position to be successful, getting to know us as a whole group, and then players have been stepping up as leaders. You know, we have a player-led group that wants to be successful, and that's player-led. It's been awesome to see the development of everybody because everybody cares about the standard of Alabama. So, like, what a great opportunity to be around a lot of great guys that want to be successful.
One last one for you, Jaylen. When you're not playing football, what's Jaylen Milroe doing?
Give back to the community as best possible. I want to own an athletic facility and train athletes there and pour all my resources into that so guys can achieve all that they want to achieve in the future. Are
you a Netflix guy? You watch TV, video games? Have you played the new NCAA game yet?
I'm a Netflix guy. I like watching movies.
What's the last thing you watched?
Last thing I watched was – what did I watch? Oh, yeah, I watched Creed 3.
Oh, was it good?
It was awesome. I would say that was worth the wait. I love that movie. That was a good movie.
You played a video game yet?
I have not. I played like one game, but like I haven't played it like consistently. So I gotta keep on getting on it.
Great stuff, Jaylen. Appreciate the time,
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
Thanks. All right, thanks again to Jaylen Milroe for that walk and talk. Thanks again for making Locked On SEC your first listen every day. Coming up next, we'll switch to the Texas side. Kelvin Banks, big-time offensive lineman from University of Texas. That's coming your way next. But first, a quick message to our friends over at FanDuel. Look, you love betting on sports. FanDuel has got you covered. All this summer, FanDuel is hooking up all customers with a boost or a bonus daily. That's right. There's something for everyone every day, all summer long. Just head over to FanDuel.com. Start making the most out of your summer. And we've been telling you about all the betting lines that are up there. Texas is a 35.5-point favorite over Colorado State in their opener. If you feel like they'll cover that line, or if you feel like, hey, that's a ton of points, maybe Colorado State can, maybe not lose by 5 touchdowns, we will see. But nonetheless, you can get in on that action. All the Week 1 lines are up there right now over at FanDuel and FanDuel.com. FanDuel, they are the official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball as we get started on the second half of the baseball season this weekend, coming out of the All-Star break. But again, all the college football stuff up there, college football futures, Heisman bets, all that kind of stuff is up there at FanDuel.com. Go check them out today. Get signed up, and again, take care of that boost or bonus daily at FanDuel.com. All right, thank you guys for making Locked On SEC your first listen every day. Shout out to Everydayers. Keep coming back and checking us out each and every day. All right, next up, we talk about the Texas Longhorns that we caught up with their big-time offensive lineman Kelvin Banks, who is expected to be a top 10 pick in next year's draft if you look at some of the very early mock drafts. So here was a little bit of our conversation with Kelvin Banks as Texas joins the SEC. All right, pleasure now to be catching up with Texas offensive lineman Kelvin Banks. And Kelvin, what's this all like, man? New conference, new world here.
Yeah, it's definitely something new to me because this is my first media day. So I'm very excited and just blessed and honored to be here.
What do you make of the SEC so far? It's a little bit bigger here. It's a little bit bigger deal with everything.
So far, man, I'm loving it. I love the intensity and the excitement the fans have behind the conference and just everything that comes with it. I just know going into it, the atmosphere and everything is going to be amazing.
I know you guys are excited. You felt like you took a huge leap last year. You make the playoff. I know it didn't finish how you were hoping, but you stack good season on top of good season, and you keep taking that further step the next year. But a lot to build off of from last year.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's definitely a lot to build off of, and like you said, we fell short of where our main goal was supposed to be at. But I feel like as our team progresses, we kind of use that as fuel to get back there and to make sure every day we work hard as we can to become that team again and keep going and just go hard.
You lost a lot of guys to the draft, but you bring back a lot. And this offensive line, it looks like, this is one of the strengths of the team. You got some good tailbacks back there. Quinn Ewers is back. The offense should be pretty electric.
Yeah, I agree. Like you said, we lost some guys, but we definitely have so much depth in our room to where we feel the guys who are filling in those spots, they're going to do just fine. So I feel like the excitement of that as well, just getting to see new guys get on the field is very exciting.
We talk about adjusting to the SEC. You guys played Alabama each of the last 2 seasons. You know what it's like going up against those guys. Was there just something different when you played those guys, the physicalness of those defensive linemen?
Yeah, I like to say that any game you play, they're on scholarship for a reason. Yeah. So I like to take every game as serious as if people would say, oh, it's a big game for us. I like to take it just like that. And if somebody says it's not a big game, I like to take it as a big game. So just going to see new players and new people is what I'm most excited for. Being able to go against new players is going to be very, very fun.
It is crazy. Oklahoma comes along with you guys, and you keep that rivalry going. Yeah. So, it's kind of fun. You get to build some new rivalries in the SEC, but also keep that one with those guys.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's definitely going to be a good experience. Like you said, building new rivalries and just having those new games played, but also being able to keep the tradition of Oklahoma and then bring it back to the tradition of Texas A&M.
Give me a little glimpse of what Coach Sark is like as a head coach.
Man, he's electric. I feel like he does great because he lets us be who we are. He doesn't try to force us to be nobody we're not. And he gives us our leeway of expressing ourselves on and off the field. But he definitely shows like, hey, nobody's perfect because not everybody's going to be perfect in life. So even when you're on the field, you're not going to be perfect. But he expects us to go back and make sure we fix our mistake.
Let's talk about your defense. You lose Tavondre Sweat, you lose Byron Murphy. You lose some big pieces, but some guys behind them ready to step up.
Yeah, definitely. I say the 2 guys who's taking on that leadership role, Sweat and Byron took off with was AC, Albert Collins, and then Vernon Bryden. I feel like those 2 guys are 2 guys who's taking on the freshmen and showing them the ropes and the way of the D-line.
It's exciting to see, and then the secondary, obviously, with some big-time players there. You got one of your teammates here with you, so defense, still going to be tough as ever, right?
Yeah, for sure. We're definitely going to still have a tough defense. Even in the summer when we're doing our PRPs, we compete all the time, so it's definitely we're going to have a tough defense.
All right, well, Kelvin Banks is not playing football. What are you doing?
Man, as of right now, I'm playing a new NCAA game.
How is it?
Man, it's awesome. I love the graphics. It's kind of like a whole different game from Madden, so I love it. But also I play video games, and then also I like to fish. Anything outdoors, you can call me.
What's the last thing you caught? Like redfish? What do you?
Drum.
Red drum. Okay.
Red
all right.
drum.
Some good fishing spots around Austin.
For sure. It is? You know
Yeah, it's a few.
Yeah, I haven't really had the chance to get out much in Austin because every time I fish, I go back home. So
okay, where's home?
Houston, Texas.
Okay, well,
yes, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. He's Kelvin Banks. Are you properly rated in the video game?
I love my rating.
Okay.
I actually thought I was going to be a 90, but I love where they put me at.
What they put, 89?
94.
Oh, 94.
Yes, sir,
okay.
94.
Oh, so you thought you were going to be a little bit lower than that. Damn.
Yeah.
Well, they're higher on you than you are.
For real.
Kelvin, best of luck, man. And, hey, we'll be watching Longhorns and have a great season, all right?
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Also, our buddy Dan Matthews was able to catch up with Texas quarterback Quinn Ewers. There was a little bit of that conversation.
Appreciate the time today, man. Let's just go ahead and just start off. I mean, you've done Big 12, you've done all of that, but, how much have people tried to prepare you for what is ahead today for you here?
You're talking about just in SEC football in general?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they got a saying, it just means more. So I'm excited to get the full understanding of that. Obviously, I mean, I've always kind of wanted to be in the SEC, and to finally be in the SEC is going to be a cool experience, not just for me, but I think the whole university across all sports.
What did it mean for you last year, for you guys to accomplish what you did and to kind of set the tone for the new era of Texas football?
Yeah, I mean, that means a lot. We went 12-2. And a 12-win season's a great season, but having that taste of the college football playoff in your mouth it's only going to leave you wanting more. So we're going to scratch and claw to figure out a way to get back, and like I said, we're all super excited for it, and like I said, it was a 12-win season, but we think we are capable of more than just that.
No doubt about it. Texas quarterback Quinn Ewers with us for a few minutes here at SEC Media Days. Look, when you lose 4 guys that are in a receiver room that go to the NFL, that's not an easy task to replace. But how have you guys been able to fill some of those gaps? And then also, too, as well, I mean, what have you seen from some of the new guys?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, we lost 4 guys, and really, really good players, and excited to see what they accomplish and the highest level of football. And we had some guys step up, whether that be, guys like Jonte Cook, Isaiah Bond, Matt Golden, DeAndre Moore, Silas, Wingo. I mean, the room is stacked. All those guys, they really want to get on the field. And it's cool to see a room like that. They're all good friends, but, they're all competing for one goal, and ultimately that's to play football. And, it says in the Bible, iron sharpens iron. So, that's only going to make everybody a lot better.
A couple more again with Quinn Ewers here at SEC Media Days. You mentioned Golden. We know him pretty well in Houston from his time with the University of Houston. What have you seen from him? And I know that you weren't playing in the game last year, but still able to do some good things against you guys. You got to be excited to add him.
Yeah, I mean, I think he scored twice against us, and his the way he plays on special teams, returning kicks, returning punts. Having a guy like him is going to be really special, and we've already created a good bond that we have together, and I'm excited to see how well he and how much he's going to contribute to our success on offense. Because the question is not how much, it's how often.
As well as anybody, you're never as good as how your offensive line is, and you got a pretty good one up front for you guys. I mean, just how excited are you to be playing behind those 5 guys?
Oh, it's going to be awesome. We lost. I've played with the same 4 guys now ongoing 3 years. My right tackle I had played with 2 years, so it's very special to have 5 guys for 2 years and now 4 for 3. It's going to be real good because we all have a really good bond together.
I know I said 2 more, but I got to get one last quick one here. The SEC is renowned for some of their atmospheres. Is there any one of them that you've already looked ahead at the schedule and said, "Oh man, I'm looking forward to that one"?
Man, what I'm most excited for is just bringing back those traditional rivalries, like Arkansas and A&M, obviously OU. I mean, Georgia coming here is going to be awesome. We don't travel a whole lot this year. I know we're going to Kentucky and Vanderbilt, but I'm excited for all of them.
All right, outside of Texas, we also caught up with some Florida Gators as well. We were able to spend a few minutes with Montrell Johnson, Florida running back. Here was some of that conversation.
Talking about the fact that you started at the ULL in the Sun Belt Conference. You followed Coach Napier to Florida. What do you remember about your time at ULL, specifically the game against Arkansas State when you ran for over 100 yards?
I'm not gonna lie. My freshman year, I was just out there running, man. I didn't know what was going on, man. Everything was going by fast. My first year of college, but that game against Arkansas State, man, that was surreal, man. I was tired by like the 20-yard line. Man. I felt like I was running forever, but yeah.
Just what you were able to accomplish your freshman year. What gave you the confidence that you could make that leap and go to the SEC?
Just know what type of back I am, man. I'm going to compete with whoever they put in my way, you know. And just having that mindset that I'm the best of the best.
Yeah. Now at Florida, obviously going into your senior year, where do you feel like you've grown the most as a player throughout your college career?
I think I've grown the most mentally. Just knowing how to go around and do things like this, interviews. I used to couldn't do this, just going around, having a routine for myself, just knowing that I got to do that to get to the level I want to get to.
I guess the other thing too is you followed Coach Napier from Lafayette to Gainesville. What gave you confidence in him to follow him to Florida?
What gave me confidence is that I'm a visual learner, so I see him do it at Louisiana. I'm like, we about to go over there, we about to do the same thing. Come on, let's go. Let's rock out, coach. Let's go. Let's go.
Last year you ran for over 800 yards. You became the primary back in this offense. What did you feel like you did at a high level last year?
I feel like I got past the line of scrimmage well last year. Like I didn't let the first defender get me down a lot last year. I think that I ran hard, found the hole, be patient, I feel like down the field I finished the runs,
Montreal, what's it like with Trevor leaving? I mean, it opens the workload is open for you. I mean, you guys were a good two-headed attack, but more of the workload? I'm sure this is what you dreamed of.
Yeah, I say with Trevor leaving, like the workload is going to go up for me. But I'm on for the challenge. There was games last year when I had about 20-some carries. I felt good after that. Now I'm ready for it.
What did he talk to you about his decision to leave? And I mean, going to Georgia, it's like you got to play these guys.
Right. He never talked to me about it, but I feel like he knew that because going to Georgia is crazy. Like he know that.
Talk a little bit about Graham coming back. I mean, having that later, but then also DJ coming in. He's stirred some heads already this spring.
Graham coming back is a great thing for our offense. Just having his experience, just having him talk to the guys, and and having DJ behind him is great because he can coach DJ up. DJ knows what to look for now, and just having that older guy over you is just a big thing to have.
Looking at the offense this year, what gives you the most confidence that you guys can make a run in the SEC?
Just just making additions to the O-line. Bringing guys in from Arkansas, Devin Manuel, San Diego State, Brandon Crenshaw Dixon. Just bring guys in like that, just to make the O-line better, make the passing game better for us, and bringing receivers in as well. Elijah Badger from Arizona State comes in with a lot of experience, a lot of yards at the catch. That's amazing for us.
Did you notice a big difference in the O-line in spring?
Most definitely, yes, sir.
With Trey has a chance here to step up. Ricky going to the draft and get drafted first round, but a chance for Trey to really step in and be that number one receiver now, right?
Yeah, most definitely. Trey's a guy that's going to come in and work every day. It doesn't matter what he's doing. If it's working out, tutoring, making sure he's eating the right thing, he's going to attack the day. And that's what I really respect about him. Him being so young, just being able to, go out there and compete every day.
There's been a lot of talk about the schedule. I mean, obviously it's brutal. You can't do anything about it. I mean, Graham almost said you got to embrace it. He said, right. I said it's a tough schedule. He said good. It's you almost have to just wrap your arms around and embrace it, right?
Dude, my vision on it, man, this is the SEC, man. You're going to have a tough schedule every year. But I feel like we look at it as 12 opportunities, We're going to go out there, with the mentality that we can compete with these guys. It's SEC, you know what I'm saying? This is Florida. We're Florida. And we got that mentality that we can go out there and compete with anybody that's in front of us.
Is there anything obviously when it comes to your running style, is there anything you worked on specifically this offseason you need to work on, whether it's pass protection, run blocking, whatever?
One thing I want to work on this offseason, just like getting out of the backfield on routes and stuff like that, being more of a receiving back and getting into space and, making the first guy miss, and getting more downfield and finishing runs more.
What do you like most about this system that Coach Napier runs, and what's going to be different, I guess, this year with the play calling?
I say that we have more, receivers that make a deep threat. So I feel like we're going to go deep more. We're going to cause people to get out the box and be able to run the ball more.
When Montreal Johnson's not playing football, what are you doing?
I don't know. I know how to bowl. I bowl good. I might be a professional bowler a little bit. My high score like 235.
Wow.
But yeah, that's probably. I'll be bowling probably.
Are you a video game guy at all?
Yeah, I play a lot of video
You play
games.
the new EA
Yes,
Sports?
sir.
Are you properly rated? That's the question.
I think they're all by two more ratings, but I'm good with where I'm at right now. You know,
Yeah.
everybody that play with me say I'm unstoppable.
Last thing, what's on the pregame playlist? Something you need to get hyped up for the game?
I play a lot of like Meek Mill, like what else? Drake, Kendrick Lamar, like some like motivational stuff to get me in that right mindset.
Get your mind right, right?
Yes, sir.
Bunch y'all. Thanks for the time, man.
Thank you.
And we caught a minute or two with Florida starting quarterback Graham Mertz. Here was a little bit of our conversation with Graham. Florida quarterback Graham Mertz, what's this like, man? Getting a chance to make the media rounds, talk about yourself and the program and everything else.
It's been great. It's been a great. Busy day. I think I had this experience at Wisconsin. It's a Big Ten Media Days, so kind of had one go-around earlier in my career, but no, it's been great. I think it's cool to see how passionate everybody is about the SEC, about their programs. Great questions. I think that's one thing that I've seen today. It's been a good day.
What's the craziest thing you've been asked so far?
Holly Rowe asked me if I could describe our team in a food, what would I describe it as? And I blew my mind. I'm like, I have no idea what I would say for that. So,
it's a little bit bigger here though than Big Ten Media Days, is that right?
yeah, I mean they did. It was a different setup. Big Ten, they did it at Lucas Oil.
Okay.
So different setup. But yeah, there's a lot more people out here.
Yeah. Well, and add a Texas and Oklahoma,
Yeah.
it gets even bigger. Talk a little bit about your offseason. I know you've been busy. We talked to you at the Manning Passing Academy, but I mean, do you take some downtime, kind of decompress a little bit, or is it just constant grind?
It's a constant grind. I mean, I'll take a day on the weekend. I'll go golf with the guys or just get away a little bit. But no, I mean, I love this stuff. So for me, it's easy to get into the daily routine of doing it every day. But yeah, I mean, I like to golf, so that's kind of my getaway.
Okay. Yeah. Just the last thing, have you played the video game yet?
Oh yeah.
Are you properly rated?
I don't know. I don't know how to play the video game, so I couldn't tell you.
I love it.
You need to get a pro that plays the video game and then tell me if I'm properly rated.
Graham, thanks for the time. I appreciate it.
All right.
All right, still more to come here on Locked On SEC, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, covering your team every day. All right, continue on here on Locked On SEC, and Mississippi State was in the house yesterday at SEC Media Days, and we sat down with John Lewis, their linebacker, looking to step up and replace some of the big-time linebackers that they just lost in production-wise, Bookie Watson and Jed Johnson, those guys. But here was our conversation with Mississippi State linebacker John Lewis. Rolling along here from SEC Media Days, and always fun to talk with some current players and a guy who is a tackling machine. He is John Lewis from the Mississippi State Bulldogs. What's going on, man? You having some fun?
Yes, sir. I'm having a lot of fun.
It's crazy to go through the whole, I guess they call it like the car wash, where you're going through all these different stops and they're asking a million questions and all this kind of stuff, but also fun to represent your school, right?
Of course. I love to represent Mississippi State.
It's very interesting. I mean, you guys have gone through a lot of changes here these last couple of years with coaches and everything else. Coach Jeff Levy, obviously great track record of great offensive mind. What do you like about Coach Levy so far?
Coach Levy's a very open-minded and cool guy. He's like, he instantly came in and you had no choice but to respect him just by how he acted, how he carried himself. He wasn't stuck up or nothing. He didn't come in trying to change anything. He just was being himself. So that's why a lot of our players respect him. And that's just Levy.
It's been a lot of new. I mean, especially through the transfer portal, and you guys bring in Blake Shapen from Baylor. And I mean, I watched you guys in the spring game. Offense was moving up and down the field. It looks like a lot of these guys, it's all new, but looks like they've all acclimated very quickly here.
Yeah, Blake is a very great quarterback. Our team is going to be so great this year. We got a lot of pieces that we needed to add, so got a lot of confidence and faith in everybody on our team.
What do you like most about this defense? Because again, it's a different system, right? It's different playbooks and all that kind of stuff. But what do you most like about this system that you guys are playing in now?
We have a lot of different schemes, just more than just one scheme. So I feel like everybody's going to be doing a lot of everything. So there's not just one thing that one player is going to be doing. So I feel like everybody's going to have a chance at being on the field and being able to make plays. So I feel like it's going to be a lot of exposure to us to make us better as players. So I mean, it's going to help us a lot.
You guys, you lose two big dogs that were next to you, the linebacker core, tackling machines, moving on to the next level. But now it's on you. It's your time to shine and step up and be that guy that leads this team. What have you done? I mean, this offseason, have you kind of taken on that leadership role?
Of course. I mean, there's only one Buki and one Jet. So, yeah. I mean, I'm just going to be the best version of myself, just being able to do whatever I can do to help our team win and make plays. So, I mean, all of our players that we have on defense right now are very capable of breakout seasons, having a lot of tackles and everything. So I feel like we're going to have a great season, and the defense will be great.
You bring in, like I mentioned, the transfer portal. Stone Blanton comes in. That's a guy who made some plays last year, comes over through the portal. What do you see from Stone so far?
Stone's going to be great. I love Stone. He's very funny, very cool. He's going to be he's a good leader, too, also. I mean, everybody respects Stone, too, so he's a great guy.
Talk about the defensive line, because, I mean, you had a bunch of guys that, I mean, have been there for a long time and some guys moving on, but you still have DeMontre Russell and a few other pieces there. It starts up front, right? I mean, those guys got to do their job so you can do your job.
It's going to be great. DeMonte, Travion, Calvin Dinkins, KJ, Pop. It's Deontay Anderson. We got a lot of guys that I'm very comfortable with, being on the field with. So, I mean, there's a lot of faith up in the front, so I have no worries. And not to mention, we got Dante Russell.
Yeah.
So I got a lot of faith in those guys, so there's no worries.
It's gonna be fun to see what you guys do this year. What's the summer like here? As you guys get closer to the season, I mean, obviously practice and all, but it's hot, right? I mean, you gotta kind of take care of your body when you're out there practicing in this heat.
I mean, we just look at it as when we go to Austin or wherever we go and it's hot, or we just think of it like that. We just think of it as a game while we're out there and it's hot. Once we think of it as a game, it's cool. We just be out there, be working.
Those September games are rough. I mean, that sun gets beaten. It's like, come on, man, you better stay hydrated.
Yeah, always drink, always stay hydrated.
We're talking with Mississippi State linebacker John Lewis. When you're not playing football, what are you doing?
In Starkville or?
Wherever.
I mean, if I go home, I'm going to ride my horses.
Okay.
I ride horses
nice.
When I'm free. I ain't doing that for real. But if not, I'm definitely going to be playing a game now.
Video game?
NCAA 25.
Yeah, so you got it?
Yeah.
You're in the game?
Yes, sir.
Have you played it yet?
Playing last night.
Man, see, I pre-ordered it, and we've been here all week working, so I haven't had a chance to play it yet.
Once you play it, you ain't going to want to come back to work.
Here's the big question. Did they properly rate you?
Could have been an 80. But 78 is cool.
78?
I'm not mad at it, though.
Yeah. Well, here's what you got to do. You got to go show out so that maybe they do, because Madden, they move the ratings throughout the season. Maybe they do that for you.
I think that's what they said they're going to do throughout the weeks.
Okay.
So
only better.
It's just a motivation thing. It just make us want to be better than what we are.
78.
At least what they say we are. So
yeah, I got to talk to somebody at EA Sports. We got to get that fixed. What's your horse's name?
I have a horse named Cash Doll.
Cash Doll?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that your favorite?
I don't have a favorite.
So you have multiple horses.
Yeah, I got a lot of horses.
What are the other names?
I had another horse. My granddad named him Player, just Player.
Like Playa?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we raised him from a baby.
Wow, that's cool.
So yeah.
What is a baby horse? Pony? What do you call a baby horse?
A colt.
A colt. Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. So talking with John Lewis here, as the season approaches and you start to look forward, what excites you most?
Our fans. I'm very excited to see our stadium packed out with the cowbells, the whole environment. I just can't wait because I know somebody's gonna break their cowbell.
I talked to Blake. Blake said he hasn't experienced the cowbells yet. I was like, dude,
haven't experienced.
Get ready. Now the good thing is they quiet when he's out there, right?
Yeah.
It's when you guys are out there.
We're out there. We're used to it. We love it.
Yeah. It's wild, but it's certainly one of the things that makes the experience in the SEC so unique. Last thing for you, when you're in SEC environments. I mean, it's what makes SEC football great. Give me a road environment you played in that you just think was one of the most electric atmospheres you've been in.
When we played against Stone, South Carolina.
South Carolina, wow.
That was probably, I think it was South Carolina or either Texas A&M my freshman year.
Okay.
Those are probably the top two that I've been in, because I think South Carolina, when they just turned the lights off,
yeah,
it was. I like.
And they get that do-do-do-do-do.
Yeah.
I mean, the techno music starts going.
Yeah.
It's pretty unreal. But I mean, all the environments are really. I mean,
you can't just not say Mississippi State, because our whiteout game last year, crazy.
It's crazy because I haven't been to Starkville in a while, but I remember going a long time ago and then going a few years. Like every time I go, there's like it's more hype. The stadium improvements, like everything. And you see it across the SEC, but Starkville is a different world from what it was 20 years ago. I know you don't know 20 years ago, but like it's an awesome home environment.
Of course, we got a very big fan base, and it's great actually. Our fan base is outrageous when it comes to them showing up to the games, being loud. So yeah, I love it.
Yeah. Well, you heard it, Starkville fans. Get your cowbells ready. John Lewis is going to be. He wants to not be able to hear anything. He wants to bring two. Double fist the cowbells, get them going. John, thanks so much for the time, man. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Hail State.
Our thanks again to John Lewis. Thanks again for making Locked On SEC your first listen every day. Shout out to Everydayers. Keep coming back and checking us out. And hey, for your second listen, check out Locked On Gators. Brandon Olson doing a great job covering the Gators. You can check that out wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube. I'm Chris Gordy. This has been Locked On SEC. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow.